Today we are about to forge a Mjolnir pendant. There are different ways to forge these Mjolnir pendants. I have tried forging out of a round or square bar. You can forge it out of flat bar, as I'm gonna do now. I got a 20mm by 5mm iron bar in the fire, heating up. And you can use a guillotine tool for it will be easier to forge with guillotine, but you can also do it without. That might be a little bit tricky, but I am up for a challenge today, so we will go with the tricky one. So let's go. So the first I'm gonna do is to forge the shaft of the Mjölnir. And forging this way, it is this part that is the tricky. The tricky part is to get these shoulders even, or you can use a guillotine tool here, then it's much easier to get these shoulders parallel. If you want a challenge, you can try this way, without a guillotine. There we have it. So the shaft is ready. We are gonna cut it off from the bar. There. Like so. Gonna grab some tongs, and then we're about to forge the hammer head. As we can read in the Norse mythology, this Mjölnir, the hammer of Thor, was the effect. It wasn't the masterpiece that the dwarves were looking for to forge. And the effect was that the handle was short. This was because, it's a long story, but Loki, the trickster, is behind this. So the hammer shaft got shorter than planned, but it still seems to work well. So, forging the hammer head. This is also a tricky part to get these symmetrical, but once you have a shoulder, something to grab on, it will stay there and it gets easier. And I'm using this tool here because since it's cut off from the bar, I need to hold it with tongs, and I don't want to draw out a longer handle than needed. So it is a bit too short for, it's not so good to work here, then it's an angle and it doesn't get straight. So therefore I'm using this in the hardy hole so I can hold it straight and forge it like this. But also if you have a horn, square horn, it can fit here as well, but the energy will be a bit lost over here. So I prefer to use a tool like this. Doing a little bit more shaping, checking so everything is symmetrical, because it's much easier if you get everything right from the beginning. So I'm using my peen side of my hammer to spread out the material to the sides. I don't want to make it higher, I just want it to widen it. So therefore I'm using my peen to get it in the direction I want. Like this. You can, at this stage, you can spend a lot of time shaping the Mjolnir to get it symmetrical and everything, but I will spare you from that, and I will do some shaping and then show you the next step. But I like to keep a diamond, is it called a diamond cross section? So you can see the middle in the of the hammer. It's a line here, and it is thicker on the middle, and then it gets thinner out here. So that is a nice detail that I like to incorporate in my Mjolnirs. Alright, so I'm happy with the shape. I did some forging and also did some filing here to get the final touch. And so the next step is to create, I will attach a ring here at the top for the necklace cord. And so the next step is to make a loop for the ring and cut off the shaft. So I'm measuring and cut it off at the length that I want it to be. I'm getting ready to start forging the loop. I don't need a lot of material for the loop. I think this will be, or I know that this will be alright. I'm gonna turn it to a round loop. So see if I get it. I might need to get some scrolling tongs. Oh, pretty good. Let's see here. Some adjustments. like this. Now it's time to make the ring and attach the cord. So the ring I'm gonna forge out of a 3mm iron wire, making tapers. Got some slag. I recently got a new batch of charcoal, but I'm a little bit disappointed actually. It's the one I had previous was much cleaner. But it's alright. Like so. Now we're gonna turn it into a ring. Holding my scrolling tongs close, because I might need them. Something like this. I'm gonna do some small adjustments with the scrolling tongs. Like this, we have our ring, and now it's time to attach the Mjölnir into the ring. And I shall make a knot here. I don't know what is, if it's got a name, but I used to call it a Viking knot, because you can see this is a common way to how they closed their rings during the Iron Age. So therefore I used to call it a Viking knot. Alright, here we have our finished Mjolnir pendant. It was tricky to get good footage of the ring and how I made the knot. It's so small details, so maybe if I had a GoPro on my head. But I simply heated up in the forge and used my scrolling tongs to make it like this. And this is a nice detail. The cord is going to be attached, so it hangs like this. And that is one way that I use to make Mjölnir, the hammer of Thor.